they've introduced two players from M&M in Yuzus and Solotov that were absolutely the kings of Chalet. So Chalet should be a map that they're now very good at and also plays into a very frag-heavy style. However, if you're G2,
and pressure towards Alamau, forced him further and further away. Now he wasn't quite the star player that he often is in the recent showdown. He was going to see if he could try and get the lead in. Doki, I mean, he telegraphed his intention with that doorway. He comes back in, and the first body that he removes being used is going to be something that he's probably smiling about. But Alamau against Shaiko instantly pulls the favor back into the 4 versus 4. Bride slips their way in, but you swung a little early there, Virtue. They could still see you. Benja gets Shaiko, Solotov gets Benja, and this is exactly the sort of game that we wanted. All 10 players brawling and battling against each other here. Now, the body advantage is in the favor of BDS currently, but I said it was the Yuzus and Shaiko show generally yesterday, and they're both the two that have been removed. So it's time for, oh, I don't know, a couple of other superstar players to show up.
The entire lobby is full of them. And everybody's able to make these clutches stick. For now, G2, they find themselves locked around the site, not with too much control. There is an opportunity to try a plan that's very ill timing there for Solotov. As he wants to throw a flashbang, he gets his head removed. Uno digging in deeper into the actual kitchen, seizing the opportunity to take that ground. And as Bride starting to fire back, is actually the verticality that comes in to haunt them. Doki now trying to retake that verticality as well. He sees the drone being flicked between. He misses the first opportunity. Will get it on the second try. Knows that plant is happening as he drops right through the hatch. He's not able to find a kill though, and Bride locks it off. Uses so Doki's no longer needed to go out that doorway that was aiming to do so. Instead, went for the big garage door. Hoped to find anybody on the double repel window. As Liquefact will find Uno. Ping's coming in from down below as well as Bride drops. It's going to be a very unfortunate way to lose your Montaigne. It might have been a smoke plant attempt, I'm not quite sure.
Whatever it was, it pulls the shield out, pulls the planter out, and puts you in a minute 10 in a sort of man disadvantage fight here. Shaiko suffers, Virtue makes him suffer even more. What are the two remaining BDS players going to be able to pull together here? The backline is still set up. Evac gets Benja, gets the crossfight. The fire Doki gets a connection with Solotov. With 50 seconds, 3 players ahead of him. The sort of backline almost gets the drop onto Doki, who's only a sliver away. The mine being activated underneath his feet. A nightmare that lets Doki pass, importantly. He's now onto the left-hand side of the door. They had no idea about it. And players like Solotov, who didn't quite have the same impact yesterday. The bandit trick gets the thermite, and oh, there's at least the play against it. The roll of the grenade, 4 seconds to pop, gets that. They won't trick this, but they have now limited the hard breach pretty heavily towards the single smoke plant here onto this wall.
Yeah, that's it. There's no other way to deal with this as Shaiko goes down by Benja. The plant attempted though in the middle of the smoke. There's no one to reply to it, and that means it will go down. The glass is there to provide the cover, and 45 seconds now counting down in favor of BDS. Solotov will find another great kill as well. A retake over the top 4 is going to be attempted by Benja, I believe, as they do still have the one player in the main stairs to worry about. Elamau is taking that fight up close, hoping to chase that one down. Finds the secure as well in the meantime, and Benja now finds himself on top of the mezzanines with nothing really to go for. They have some smoke canisters, but that doesn't block the line of sight. They need to have the challenge onto the players outside.
I mean, look at this. Just a watch for 1 and 2, EFAC! Either side, that's some practice inside the shooting range, and a Monty Bully for the final kill. Getting your mentality on what is one of those games. You've got a shot. Derby Day. Bride definitely does. Inside the site with a kill to his name. Doki's outside the building with nothing but a watch onto this. Bride, he really is tempted by the idea of a plant, but look at the rest of BDS flooding their way in. G2 know they have to try and retake the vertical. That's all they can really play. If they go for the site itself, they're just going to throw themselves into an engagement where it's all been taken away from them. Benja, the single player inside. Doki, the most important person outside, should get the read on the kick.
And they're quite quickly, the plant now being attempted. A nitro cell on the double window should provide some security, but Yuzus stays alive, gets one. Doki on the hatch, however, will find the kill just in time as the cover eventually is there. The diffuser is stopped, needs to be recovered, but it's a 3-on-3 situation. They know of at least one of those players from G2, should know about two. Everybody's upstairs, and the Solotov will find Uno. It's quite literally just around the back here. And if they are aware, I mean, they don't have a Logi Bomb anymore. It needs to come from drones or just, you know, sound recognition. Cannot go for a plant otherwise.
I mean, there, the confirmation to stop the kit going down as well came off Balamau getting a couple. He almost gets his third onto Shaiko. They don't have any more stims. They're not getting any more health for that trade. Virtue, he's trying to swing around, give himself a little bit more to think about, but Shaiko has that connection, and Alamau, he's eked his way down the stairs, takes the head off of Shaiko. He would have to ace to clutch this round out. They have the vertical. They're watching down on the hatch. They've still got to try and make the kit plant the drop. No, they've handed vertical over. Almost gets the back end of EFAC, who slips their way through, gets himself a rotate. He's concerned about the watch from top main, but it's Solotov doubled up on the door. BDS. Solotov themselves still pulls back. Every single player surviving that engagement that carried its way across 2 stories. Uno is the next to take a lump of damage. At the minute, it's all change, no cash.
Easy coming out. Smokes as well. The execute might be coming in soon. I mean, I think they're going to try and go for like a reverse plant again. It's just that the magnets is stopping it really from happening as Doki strikes as well.
Virtue on the rotate, doesn't get the full connection. 3-Day swings the pistol, gets a kill, but now with the 2 versus 3.
Drop the diffuser.
1 versus 3. Solotov almost had the first engagement in his favor.
I'm reloading.
Against Doki, but at this point, he has Doki and 2 friends to contend with. Benja, the first, taken off and well executed, but with a Solace still on the board, no impacts, but more than enough to spray through. He knows he has to try and play this kill game. Everything is being watched. Kit is recollected. He's going to tuck himself by the bomb chassis, but with a player still inside the bathroom, he's going to try and force the 1 versus 1 down Zuno, but he has no idea. So he's wasting and waiting against more time. Doki again, the Solace.
Seconds left.
Wasting, and oh, he's going to run back and be furious. He's looking for a kill confirm on a player long since knocked over. The hop over the balcony, the catch to the Fenrir mine. Doki's turned a corner. And that is just...
That he finds it now instead of, you know...
Yeah, it's very true.
In the breach and you finish it and then it's electrified, because that is just pain.
3-Day, he's got 2 claws here. He wants to sort of play against this game. I don't think he is actually just in time, but there it is. Perfect removal. Jaiko does perfectly remove Doki as well. He's a little bit of a run out itself that we just had on the top of the balcony, but as he goes inside to try and find the next engagement, he's entirely unaware of Yuzus' play. That leaves Alamau and Uno, the 2 IGL voices with everything to do.
There's one thing certain here, that they'll be talking a lot to one another with what they have and what not. You know, gets the first opportunity to land a fight, but misses the opportunity. The shotgun swings around. Alamau now in a 1v5 situation, a minute 20 on the clock. The diffuser is down on the opposite side of the map. And as he starts making his journey over, playing himself with the MK14, actually using the telescopic sight with the hollow. So, back into that decision again, whether or not you play that way. And Alamau swinging every corner he can. It's just time being wasted now, and Yuzus leans in. A flawless round from BDS. Right away, yeah, 3 of them as well, so you can easily chain to make sure that there's no tricking going on with the claw. But here they only had a single one, and it wasn't enough.
Oh, well, there's an early catch. Yuzus gets Benja, and I said you have expectations, but he has just not been able to meet those exceedingly high, to be fair. Look across the board of G2, and generally everyone's a bit shy of being level, a bit under the 1.0. This is the sort of game that BDS are going to make everybody have to go through. They're in, and Doki does find one with T-Fat getting Virtue, and Yuzus still holding on to a power position, usually the first.
It's good that he wasn't spawn peeked earlier. I was going to say that Soto with the Nitro cell. Just looking to follow that up on one another. TP's being tossed out. Benja loses his life on free fire. Shaiko. These are the kind of things we know from him. He knows about the second, but loses that opportunity. Uno shuts him down on the cover. Nitro cell comes through, doesn't do any damage, but it's still a very explosive round.
Uno doing everything he can this round with the little amount of health he was offered from the very beginning, but it's still 3 versus 3 in 40 seconds to try and turn this into one of their success stories. The first of what would need to be 4 to pull this back, and any chance of a point from it. T-Fat gets the rotate round, gets himself tucked down towards Trench, and waits for an approach here on towards what is the long telegraphed Uno above the hatch. Virtue outside the west main windows, and in fact, it's a very long rotate. The Timberow's gone all the way to the opposite end. There goes 2! Yuzus, pick and mix.
15 seconds remaining.
Shakes up the rest of this round. Uno all that's left of G2 in this, but not for long. The long rotate comes out, and BDS